Hello and welcome everyone. This is your host Sirisha Akela and I'm here with our guru, Dr. Padmaja Nandigama, who is a psychology faculty, life coach, motivational speaker, and also an academic advisor. And we are back with another uplifting topic in our program, Life Musings by Dr. Padmaja Nandigama. First of all, a very warm welcome to Padmaja Garu.
Thank you, Sirisha. Thanks for the welcome.
Thank you. Our topic today is building positivity. Positivity doesn't always refer to simply smiling and looking cheerful. However, positivity is more about one's overall perspective on life and their tendency to focus on all that is good in life. In this piece, we'll cover all the basics of positivity within positive psychology, identify some of the many benefits of approaching life from a positive point of view, and explore some tips and techniques for cultivating a positive mindset. This piece is a long one, so settle in and get comfortable. Let's get started. So you probably have an idea of what a positive mindset or a positive attitude is already, but it's always helpful to start with a more comprehensive definition. So Padmaja Garu, please tell us about it.
Yeah, so we always see different types of people around us, right? So we see a lot of people with a lot of positive energy, they say. And as you said, there's a lot of talk about this positivity, positive energy, positive psychology going on around these days. So who are these positive people, or what is this positivity, right? When you look at it, that's the energy. Positive energy is the energy that is generated by our thought process, right? And all of us have certain characteristics. We are born with certain of them because of our nature, our genetic material. So some of us could be optimistic people who will see positiveness in whatever situation, always look at the bright side. And there are people who are pessimists, or who have not so much of a positive attitude. I won't say it's a bad thing, but that's how they are born, that's their genetics. So they have not so positive attitude or a pessimistic attitude. So what happens is, as I said, nature and nurture both contribute to this, right? Like say, for example, you're born with genetic material, which is like making you a positive person or a negative person. And also in the environment which you're born. If your mom and dad or either of them is a positive person and there's more influence of them on you, then you tend to look things in a positive way because that's how you're trained. Like say, for example, when you're growing up, if you have heard all positive affirmations, when you are going to school, if they told you like, you can do this, you will do better. If you got a low score, instead of saying that, why didn't you score this much, or what happened, or why did you not work harder, or instead of saying that I did not expect, or you will never get an A, or you could have strategized it better. Instead of those, if your mom and dad probably told you like, you can do better, things happen, but work hard, maybe change your strategy, right? Yeah. So that kind of positive environment, that kind of positive thinking comes from your environment, from your, and as when we say environment, where is the first setting? From the family, from mom and dad, and then slowly school, and your peers and your teachers also inculcate that positive environment and positive attitude. Sometimes you might bump into a teacher who has a pessimistic attitude or pessimistic outlook, then that might influence you too, right? So yes, both nature and nurture make our thinking positive or negative.
So do you believe that it really works, right?
Of course, research has shown. Research has shown that positivity has been influential in both in our physical and psychological. People who have positive, outlook on life or optimistic outlook on life lead healthier lives. They live longer. They fight symptoms of cancer or chronic diseases. They don't fall frequently sick, and they do well in their jobs. They have low stress levels. They have good heart health. All these things are because of positivity. And it has been found that people who have positive outlook do well in their jobs, and they're liked more. They get more promotions. Because, simple example, as a human who have emotions, you are sitting there at your table, of course, like overwhelmed with whatever stresses we have. And who do you want around? You would want a person who is peppy, who is happier, who is bouncing around, right? So you tend to gravitate towards that person who has a positive outlook. So, and it has been shown that people with this positive outlook, because of their tendency to look at the positive side, they take more responsibilities and they can gauge other people's feelings, and then they try to pull them out or spread this positivity around. So I definitely think, positivity helps. But how much of positivity, we'll talk about it later. Yeah.
So how much is it really important to have?
Very important, because see, all of us don't see success in the first shot, right? Be it your academic life, or be it your social life, or be it your general professional life. You are not going to face all that is going to be favorable to you. Of course, you're going to have failures. Failures lead to success. But then how you come out of those failures, or those things that don't work towards your progress, or those things that don't work for your on your side, how do you deal with the situation makes a difference. It builds character, and being positive, trying to look on towards life, as you always say, I quote this, right? Half glass full versus half glass empty really helps. Because, if you look at it, maybe you did not work hard enough to achieve that goal. Maybe you need to put more effort. If it came easily to you, then probably you would not be a better person, right? So yes, you have to understand that positivity will help, will take you to greater heights. Especially what it will do is, it will not make you crumble during hardships, So yeah.
So give us some tips, techniques to cultivate positivity.
Yeah. First, I want to talk to you about how negative people think. Okay. So difference between, we talk like positive people are always thinking about positive things. But here, what happens if you're not having positive thoughts? Like, for example, if there is a pessimistic person or a person with a negative outlook, you go to a restaurant, you have a good meal, you spend good time for 2 hours, and then you get the bill and the waiter messes up the bill. So a negative outlook person or a pessimistic person will say, oh, what is this? Why would I pay more for this? Or they get upset with what has, happened, and they forget that the good times they spent, and they come out with a foul mood. So that is your negative outlook, right? They forget the good times and they focus on the negative part. Or there's people who have negative outlook, they internalize everything. Like, say, for example, somebody cancels a date, so they think that, okay, I'm not good enough, or I'm not that person that they want to spend time with me. It could be true, but also you have to think that maybe they had something going on. You don't have to personalize that
everything
issue, right? It could be situation too, or it could be in reality that they did not have time to come. So you have to have that outlook that don't personalize everything onto yourself. It is not about your bad qualities or anything like that. Yeah. So for those people who think, these people think black and white, either good or bad. So what they have to do is think median. You can also think median and don't personalize it. It could be the situation. Don't make it is as a personal attribution. Don't attribute everything to yourself, right? And you also have to think about if a situation goes bad, think about the positive things that are already there instead of only the negative aspects of it, right? So that is one way of doing it. And another few ways of maintaining positivity in your life is like, write a gratitude journal, because in many times we forget that all the positive things we have. Very easy to focus on. And especially people with this negative outlook or pessimistic attitude, they have to make an effort to throw or put the negative thoughts away. For them, what is happening is the negative thought is the first one that comes into their mind. So when a negative thought comes into your mind, try to divert yourself. Maybe count from 1 to 10 and divert your negative thought towards your positive thoughts, right? And write a journal. And also you have to understand that it is not about your personal, problem or personal characteristic that somebody is behaving that way, right? Yeah. So
can one use positivity to beat stress?
Yes. A positive thinking. If you focus on the positive aspects, research has been shown that people with positive attitude or cultivating positive thinking, surrounding yourself with positive people or positive energy will help you fight symptoms, as I mentioned, fight symptoms of stress, and also focus on the good things that you have instead of focusing on the negative aspects. So take one day at a time to focus on the positive aspects, instead of focusing on the negative aspects of life. Yeah.
So can too much of positivity be also bad?
Yes, that's called toxic positivity. Like say, for example, if things go bad, or like say for your mom has passed away, people will say, oh, you know what, she passed away because she didn't suffer much. You have to think that she passed away because it's going to make that's going to irritate you. Because this is my mom who passed away. How can you say that it is good that she passed away? It might, for the other person, you might think that you're putting the positive thought in it. No. Or you might say, oh, you're moving, you lost a job, it's good. Whatever happens for good.
Yeah.
How can that be? Right? So here, toxic positivity is when you try to spin positivity into even negative situations. So what I would suggest is, if something negative happens, something didn't go your way, sit with the thought. Sit with the thought, take it in. Yes, acknowledge that you're sad. Acknowledge that you are hurt. Acknowledge that something didn't go your way. You have to probably sit with that for a few days and then slowly come out of it. Like say, for example, I recently was coaching a person with grief of losing her son. She came to me saying that, of course, it's her son. And the son was only 32 years old, and he had a young baby of two years. So it's a very sad situation. You don't even comprehend that. So she asked me, will I get better? I'm finding this very hard. I only told her that, yes, it is very hard. You have to, internalize that. You have to sit with the situation. You have to, time will help you, but you have to acknowledge the fact that he's no more. His memories are here. And it will take time, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, forever. She's going to feel that. But then I can't tell her, you know what, at least, I can't say those words, because that's not going to help her. That is toxic positivity. It's her only child. So you are, it's her only son. So you have to understand that, you have to acknowledge negativity. But if you try to put in too much positivity even into negative situations, it might go the other way. People might not like it, and it might, so
move away from positivity.
Right.
But do you think, in schools and colleges, do they even teach about positivity? Have you ever taken any classes or or?
Oh, there is a whole subject called positive psychology, but that is in like a graduate school or something like that. Here, like positive psychology, in the sense like it's a part of your psychological curriculum. You'll have one chapter where they teach about positive psychology, but as I said, the positivity, and especially college students or students who are young, they tend to think about negative aspects faster,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because they are seeing so much competition, they
Mhm.
are seeing like so much of things going on. So it is very easy for
Mhm.
them to, feel that they're not going to achieve whatever they are setting their goals to. So here, if I say positivity, they might think like, what is she talking about? Or like, so for these people, what I would say is, again, if there is negativity around, some people create negativity. They won't encourage people with their goals or with their career. And that could be because of jealousy or other traits.
Yeah.
So you should be able to identify those that are, very detrimental to your thinking. So for youngsters, what I would say is, yes, surround yourself with positivity, with positive energy, and it is very easy if you trip and fall into negative thinking, because you might get depressed easily, and you might fall into bad habits of picking drugs or peer pressure.
Yeah.
So positivity is like a way of life, kind of. You have to put like think it in that way. So it's like how you create your thought process, and understand that you can only control situations which are in your control. You cannot manage things which are out of control. So you don't worry about those which you cannot control. Worry about those things which you have or in your control. And for that, have those goals which are achievable. Again, if you set yourself for challenges or goals which you cannot probably reach, maybe you need to change your strategy or change your goals so that you can achieve those goals and feel good about your strengths. And then that will create positivity, right? If you have those goals which are achievable, you will achieve those, and then that will create more positivity. You feel good about yourself,
Right.
Feeling good about yourself is more important. And what they have found is positivity generates your certain neurotransmitters in your brain that will make you feel good. So these people who are having positive outlook have good dopamine. They feel good, because of that good dopamine, they're happy, and also they are sleeping well. They are. What happens if you're sleeping well? You're happier. You are going to come up with good solutions. Your creativity increases, right? If you have a positive mindset, you have more creativity, your cognitive skills are sharper, and your social skills are also sharper, because you get a reinforcement of people wanting to be around you.
Right.
It's as simple as that. Everybody wants to be reinforced, everybody wants to be the friend, and nothing but being that center of attraction where people are around you. So if people complain, I don't have friends, or I don't have people don't like me, I would just ask you, take a moment, look at your own behavior, analyze your behavior. How do I change my behavior? Am I being too negative? Am I being too narcissistic, meaning thinking about myself, not thinking about others? Am I being empathetic, right? So a positive person has all these things. They are very empathetic, they're social, they are happy, they share, they care, and that is coming because of your thought processes. You have to understand that your thought and behavior are linked. Your brain influences all your behaviors. So this is like a feedback mechanism. So your brain is influencing your behavior is influencing your brain. So you can cultivate this. So to answer your question, can we teach positivity? Yes, we can teach positivity. So you'll watch and learn. Right? Every behavior we do, we watch and learn. We have good role models. Oh, I want to be like her. Okay, what is that she's doing? She's being positive. So that's a trait which all of us should have.
Amazing. So bottom line is positive thinking doesn't mean that you can ignore a life's less pleasant situations. Positive thinking just means that you approach unpleasantness in a more positive and productive way. You think the best is going to happen, not the worst. We'll meet again with another interesting topic like this in our next episode. Thank you all for joining and supporting us all the way. Watch us live on Mana TV International with YUPP TV, and for repeat telecast, subscribe to Mana TV on YouTube and also like our Facebook page to stay connected. Stay positive, stay healthy, stay happy and smiling. Goodbye.
Bye.